So today we are going to cover the theory part of polynomial. In this video, you will be covering all the theory parts, all the important things which are related to class 10th maths polynomial chapter. So let's start. So this chapter actually starts with the definition of polynomial. तो सबको सबसे पहले पता होना चाहिए कि polynomial क्या है. And in this chapter, we have polynomial in one variable. So we are mainly going to learn about the polynomial in one variable. So polynomials in one variable, the standard form is a raised to power n, x raised to power n, plus a raised to power n minus 1, x raised to power n minus 1, plus a raised to power n minus 2, x raised to power n minus 2, so on till a raised to power 0, x raised to power 0. So this is the standard form of a polynomial in one variable. And each one of them are different terms that we have in a polynomial. So it is an algebraic expression. तो पॉलिनोमियल हमारा एल्जेब्रिक एक्सप्रेशन होता है जिसका स्टैंडर्ड फॉर्म ये है. इन दिस ऑल दीज आर द कोफिशिएंट्स an minus 1, an minus 2, so on till a0. All these are different coefficients that we have, and these coefficients are real numbers. So they have to be the real numbers. This is one of the conditions. So conditions are this. Now the second condition is the power of x, whatever power you see here, n, n minus 1, n minus 2. So all the powers that we have on x should be a whole number. So power of x should be a whole number. It cannot be a negative number and it cannot be a fraction. तो अगर हमको कोई एक्सप्रेशन दिया हुआ है like this or like this, something like this, so we know that under root of x can be written in the form of x raised to power 1 by 2, and 1 by x can be written down in the form of x raised to power minus 1, right? Now see here, what is the power of x here? It is 1 by 2, which is not a whole number. Similarly, the power that we have here is minus 1, which is again not a whole number. So these two are not a polynomial. So these kind of questions you may get for 1 marks, in which they may give you one expression and they'll ask you whether this is a polynomial or not. So you'll have to see whether these two conditions are satisfied or not. If any one of these conditions are not satisfied or both are not satisfied, then that expression will not be a polynomial. Now moving on to the next topic, value of a polynomial at a given point. तो अगर आपको पॉलिनोमियल दिया हुआ है और बोला गया है कि इसकी वैल्यू निकालिए एट x इज इक्वल टू 2, x इज इक्वल टू 3, तो हमको क्या करना है? सिंपली उस पॉलिनोमियल में x की वैल्यू सब्स्टिट्यूट कर देनी है. सिंपली सब्स्टिट्यूट द गिवन वैल्यू इन द पॉलिनोमियल. तो जो भी पॉलिनोमियल दिया गया है उसमें आप अपनी वैल्यू रख देंगे तो हमको पॉलिनोमियल की वैल्यू आ जाएगी उस पॉइंट पे. लेट्स सी विद एन एग्जांपल. इफ px is equal to 2x square plus 3x plus 1, then at x is equal to 2, what will be the value of Px? X is equal to 2. The value will be 2 into 2 whole square plus 3 into 2 plus 1, which is equal to 2 into 4 plus 6 plus 1, which is 8 plus 6 plus 1. 9 plus 6 is equal to 15. So this will be your answer. This is how we find out the value of a polynomial at a given point. Now coming to the next point. So a very important thing is root or zero of a polynomial. So what is the root of a polynomial? This is the value of the x such that your polynomial expression, the whole expression becomes 0. A 0 or root of a polynomial is a number R such that your PR is equal to 0. Just like in the last topic, we learned how to find out the value of a polynomial. So similarly, if a polynomial is given to you and if you put some value for x such that your whole expression becomes 0, then we call it the zero of the polynomial. Now let's learn about how many types of zeros we can have. So we can have real zeros or we can have complex zeros. So your root can be a real root or it can be a complex root. So we'll learn about this more in the quadratic equations. So let's learn a little more about the zeros. Roots, zeros or solution, these are the different terms that we use for the same thing. So whether they are talking about roots, zeros or solutions, it means the same thing. Now here, roots, zeros or solution, they can have two different interpretation. One is the algebraic interpretation or algebraic meaning, and it can have a graphical meaning. सो जीरो का एल्जेब्रिक मीनिंग भी एक होता है और एक होता है ग्राफिकल मीनिंग. तो आइए समझते हैं दोनों का क्या मतलब है. सो algebraic meaning ये होता है that if you are given a polynomial, then find out the value of x such that your entire polynomial becomes 0 at that given particular point. Example, if you have x square minus 9, if your polynomial px is equal to x square minus 9, then if you put the value of x is equal to 3 or minus 3, let's see what value we'll get. So for x is equal to 3, so our p3 will become 3 whole square minus 9, which is equal to 9 minus 9, which is equal to 0. So our whole algebraic expression becomes 0 here. Now let's see what value we get for x is equal to minus 3. So our p minus 3 becomes the square of minus 3 minus 9, which is equal to 9 minus 9. Again, we are getting 0 here, right? So if our px is equal to x square minus 9, then by putting the value 3 and minus 3, our whole expression is becoming 0. So this is the algebraic way of finding out the zero or root or solution of any polynomial. Now let's see what is the graphical meaning of this. So in the graphical representation, if we are given a polynomial and if we plot the graph for that polynomial, suppose we are given a quadratic polynomial and its graph is coming out to be something like this. Okay. So we have to see that at what all points that graph is touching our x-axis. So as we can see here, at this point and this point, our graph is touching the x-axis. So these 2 points are the zeros of the given polynomial. So suppose this point is 2 comma 0 and this point is minus 2 comma 0. I am assuming that it is minus 2 comma 0. So the zeros are 2 and minus 2 for this particular graph. Now moving on to the next topic. Moving on to the next topic, and the topic is related to the degree. So what is the degree of a polynomial? So degree is the highest power of x in the given expression. For example, if we are given 5x plus 3, I'm trying to explain you with different examples. 4x square plus 3x plus 2, 9x cube plus 5. Now see here we have x here, right? And what is the power of x? It is 1. And 1 is the highest power that we have in this algebraic expression. So 1 is the degree for this expression, this polynomial. Now coming to this example, here the power is 2, here the power is 1. So out of 2 and 1, which one is greater? Highest power is 2. So the degree is 2 in this case. And here the degree is 3. So 3 is the highest power that we have. So these are the corresponding degrees of the given polynomials here. So degree is the highest power. Highest power in the given expression. Now, do you know that number of roots in a given expression and its degree, these two things are related. So let's see how the degree and total number of zeros are related to each other. So maximum number of zeros of a given expression is equal to the degree of the expression. For example, so if we have a quadratic equation like this, so its degree is 2 in this case, right? So for this thing, the degree is 2. Therefore, the maximum number of roots in this case will be 2. So here we cannot have more than 2 roots. This is the maximum number of roots which is possible in case of a quadratic polynomial, because the degree is always 2 for a quadratic polynomial. Similarly, for cubic polynomial, the degree is always 3. So that's why the maximum number of roots which are possible for a cubic polynomial is 3. Now let's try to understand how many types of polynomials are possible. So we are talking about types of polynomials now. Now in general, polynomial types can be divided on the basis of two things. One is based on the degree of the polynomial and based on the number of terms. So based on the degree of the polynomial, if the degree is 0, then we call it a constant polynomial. If the degree is 1, we call it a linear polynomial. Example, 4x plus 3 is a linear polynomial. If the degree is 2, we call it a quadratic polynomial. Example, 4x square plus 3x plus 5. So this is an example of quadratic polynomial. If the degree is 3, we call it cubic polynomial. An example is 4x cube plus 5x square plus 9. So these are some of the types of polynomials based on their degree. Now coming here based on the number of terms. So if we have one term in the polynomial, we will call it a monomial. If we have two terms, we call them binomial. If we have three terms, we call them trinomial. Now, this is a very, very, very interesting topic that we have here. This is about the relationship between zeros and coefficients. So, we'll talk about three different polynomials. One is the linear polynomial, then quadratic polynomial, and then cubic polynomial. But we'll discuss about all of them, but we mainly have to focus on the quadratic polynomials. So let's start with the linear polynomial. So the standard form for a linear polynomial is ax plus b. As we have already discussed that linear degree of a linear polynomial is 1. So maximum one root is possible for in this case. Suppose the root is alpha, then alpha will be equal to minus b by a. So this is the relationship between root and the coefficients in case of linear polynomial. Now, the standard form for quadratic polynomial is ax square plus bx plus c, right? Now, suppose the roots here, since the degree is 2, so two roots will be possible. Suppose the two roots are alpha and beta, then how alpha and beta are related to the coefficients? So here we have the two relationship. First is alpha plus beta will be equal to minus b by a. Here b is the coefficient of x and a is the coefficient of x square. So alpha plus beta will be equal to minus b by a, and alpha into beta will be equal to c by a. If you are given the polynomial and these are the roots, so you can easily verify the relationship between the coefficients and the zeros. So this is a very important part. Most of the questions will be coming related to this. Now in the cubic, it's not that important, but still it is given in the book, so we'll discuss about it. The standard form for the cubic is ax raised to power 3 plus bx square plus cx plus d. And suppose since the degree is 3, so 3 different roots will be possible. If the roots are alpha, beta and gamma, so alpha plus beta plus gamma will be equal to minus b by a. Alpha into beta plus beta into gamma plus gamma into alpha will be equal to c by a, and alpha into beta into gamma will be equal to minus d by a. So these three relationships are important in case of cubic, although it's not that important, but the major part is here, this center part, where you have to focus on the quadratic polynomial and how the roots of a quadratic polynomial are related to the coefficients. So this is very important. Please note down this part. So with this, we have covered almost all the theory part and important things which are related to your polynomial chapter. And if you want the solution for a particular question or any particular theory that you want me to cover, please comment down in this video so that I'll be making a new video for that. Thank you so much. Subscribe to our channel for more such educational videos.